Okay. So the next topic is Stokes' law. So Stokes' law says about the viscous force experienced by any body when it is moving in a liquid with a velocity of v. Okay, ma? Body is moving with how much velocity? Body is moving with a velocity of v. Okay, ma? And radius of the body is r. And this liquid has a coefficient of viscosity of eta. Okay. Then this body experiences a viscous force of F is equals to 6 pi eta r into v. This is the formula. Clear, no? And this equation is called as Stokes' law. Clear, no? So any body moving in a liquid with a velocity of v, it will also experience viscous forces. What is the reason, Sima? For example, if this is the body which is moving, clear, no? It is moving with a velocity of v. Then to this body, water molecules will be attached, no? Okay, ma? To this body, water molecules will be attached. And adjacent molecules, water molecules are also present, no? Ma? These molecules are also present. And in between these two molecules, what is present? Cohesive forces are present. So therefore, if this body tries to move in this direction, these cohesive forces will oppose the motion of this body. So therefore, body experiences a viscous force, and that is given by this law, which is called as Stokes' law, 6 pi eta r into v. Okay, ma? Where r is called as radius of this body, clear, no? Ma? And v is called as relative velocity of body, with respect to fluid, any fluid. Even air also gives this viscous force. Okay, fluid, water, anything you can take. Okay, and v is called not just velocity, v is called as relative velocity. Okay, a relative velocity of the body with respect to fluid. It means when compared to fluid, body is moving with how much velocity that we require. Okay, that is called as Stokes' law. Okay, Sima. So next concept is terminal velocity. What is meant by terminal velocity? Sima, I will give an example. See, consider these are clouds. From clouds, water drops will form, no? Rain will form, no? Rain is water drops only. Okay, and consider this is earth. Okay, so what is the distance? Can I call some 1,000 meters? 1 kilometer approximately. I don't know exactly. Just I am saying h is equals to 1,000 meters. Okay, so when it is released from the cloud, its velocity will be 0. Initial velocity will be 0 meters per second. And by the time it reaches to earth, we have to calculate its final velocity. No? So with what final velocity it will reach? Which formula I can use? I can use v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Final velocity, I don't know. Initial velocity is 0. 2 into acceleration is minus 10. Okay, ma? Sorry, acceleration is minus 10. Displacement is 1,000. Clear, no? So therefore, v square is equals to 2 minus 2 into 10 into 10 power 4, no? 10 power 4. Clear, no? Ma? So v is equals to root 2 into 100 meters per second. Okay. So this raindrop, 1 minute. Okay. So this raindrop should reach earth with this much speed. Are you able to understand? If it is released from a height of 1 kilometer and if it reaches earth, okay, then raindrop should reach earth with this much velocity. If a raindrop reaches earth with this much velocity, can you say what happens? This is the velocity of a bullet, bullet velocity. Root 2 into 100 is almost half of velocity of a bullet. Okay. If it reaches with this much velocity, what happens? Crops cannot survive. Birds cannot survive. Animals cannot survive. Human beings also cannot survive. Raindrop falls on the head, comes from somewhere. Are you able to understand? So if raindrops reaches earth with this much velocity, nature cannot exist. So therefore, nature has a concept called as terminal velocity. What is meant by terminal velocity? Sima. So this is the raindrop which is falling. Raindrop, on the raindrop there are three forces. What are the three forces? Its own weight will be there, no ma? Weight of raindrop will be there, no? And weight will be acting in which direction? Downwards direction. Okay, ma? And this raindrop, it is displacing some air, no? Air is a fluid, no ma? Air is, a raindrop is displacing some air. Because it is displacing some air, that displaced air will give some force of buoyancy. In fluid statics we have studied no force of buoyancy. Force of buoyancy came into action by which concept? Arsal force of buoyancy existence loki enduku vachindi? Because a body is displacing some liquid. Our body is displacing some fluid. Force of buoyancy formula, do you remember? అప్పుడెప్పుడో నిన్న చెప్పినారు కదా సార్, ఏం మాట్లాడుతున్నారు? నిన్న చెప్పింది ఈరోజు వరకు గుర్తుండాలంటే చాలా కష్టం. నిన్న చెప్పలేదరా? మొన్న కదా చెప్పింది, ఇంకా కష్టం అట్లా. ఓకేమా? వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఫోర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫార్ములా ఫోర్స్ ఆఫ్ buoyancy మా? రోయల్ విఎల్ సి. వాట్ ఈస్ విఎల్? వెలాసిటీ ఆఫ్ లిక్విడ్ డిస్ప్లేస్డ్. వావ్. Volume of liquid displaced, no? So when volume of liquid displaced increases, force of buoyancy also increases. So here raindrop is also displacing some air, no? Air is a fluid. So air also gives some force of buoyancy, which is always acting in upward direction. And what is this Fe? This is Stokes' law. Just now we have studied, no? If any body is moving in a fluid, then it experiences a viscous force. And it is always in which direction? Opposite direction to the motion of the body. If body is moving downwards, viscous force will act in upwards direction. And this viscous force is given by Fe is equals to 6 pi eta r into V. Are you able to understand? Okay, now see. So initially means what? When raindrop is just traveled 1 meter or 2 meters, okay ma? Initially downward force is greater than upward force. Okay ma? Downward force is greater than upward force. Downward force means which force here? Weight. Weight is greater than these two. In which condition? Initially, when it has just released from the cloud. Understood, Nama? So therefore, net downward force is in which direction? F net is in which direction, ma? Upwards direction or downwards direction? It is in downwards direction. Why net force is in downwards direction? Because downward force is greater than upward force. This is initially what happens. Clear? So therefore what happens to the raindrop? It will accelerate, no? When downward force is greater than upward force, there is some net force. And because of net force, what happens to the body? It will accelerate. Its velocity continuously increases. Clear, Nama? So therefore, initially weight mg of the raindrop is greater than two forces. What are the two forces? One is force of buoyancy and the another one is viscous force. Okay? So therefore, a raindrop accelerates and its velocity continuously increases. What happens to its velocity? Velocity continuously increases. This is what happens, no? Okay. So when velocity continuously increases, see ma, Stokes' law, what is the formula? Fe is equals to 6 pi eta r into V. This is the equation of Stokes' law, no? Okay. One thing which you can see here is viscous force is directly proportional to velocity. If velocity of raindrop increases, what happens to viscous force? Viscous force also increases. And viscous force in which direction? Upward direction. So as the velocity of raindrop continuously increases, this upward force also continuously increases. So at one point of time, upward forces and downward forces, they will become equal. Okay, ma? Why forces are becoming equal? Weight never changes, no? Force of buoyancy also never changes. But velocity is continuously increasing. As velocity is increasing, viscous force increases. So at one point of time, downward forces and upward forces, they will balance with each other. When forces get balanced, what happens? Acceleration becomes zero. Net force becomes zero, no? When net force becomes zero, acceleration also will become zero. If acceleration will become zero, velocity of the body further it will not increase. Akkad nunchi velocity peragadu. Whatever velocity it has gained, it reaches earth with same velocity. It means velocity is now, it is not root 2 into 100. Okay, ma? So it has gained some velocity. After that velocity will not rise. So it will reach earth with same velocity. And that maximum velocity attained by the body is called as terminal velocity. Are you able to understand what is happening? Initially, weight is greater than these two forces. అర్థమవుతుంది కదా? So consider weight is 100 Newton is not possible. Let us consider weight is 1 Newton. And these two forces combinedly, let us call it is 0.4 Newton initially. So net force is in which direction? Downwards direction. So if net force is in downwards direction, body will accelerate. Its velocity continuously increases. When velocity increases, Fv also increases. No? So therefore 0.4 will become 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, and finally it will become 1. Okay? When you add these two, finally total should be how much? 1. It means upward forces and downward forces, they are balanced. It means net force is 0. If net force 0, acceleration also 0. If acceleration is 0, velocity of the body does not increase. Velocity పెరుగుతూ ఒక లెవెల్ వరకు వచ్చిందిరా, ఇంకా అక్కడ నుంచి వెలాసిటీ పెరగదు. It reaches earth with same velocity. That is the concept of terminal velocity. Okay, ma? So write down. So therefore what happens? Its velocity continuously increases. Therefore viscous force in upwards direction, viscous force in upwards direction also increases. Okay, ma? Therefore after attaining certain velocity, upward forces and downward forces get balanced with each other. Okay, no? If these forces get balanced with each other, what happens to the net force? Net force becomes 0. Okay, ma? Therefore what happens? Therefore net force F net becomes 0. Therefore acceleration is also 0. Therefore further velocity does not increase. Okay, ma? So this maximum velocity, after which velocity does not rise, is called what? Is called terminal velocity. Okay, ma? Are you able to understand, ma? What is meant by terminal velocity? Terminal velocity means that velocity after which the velocity of the body further it will not increase. Okay, ma? If velocity does not increase, body will reach ground with same velocity. Not only in raindrop, ma, this is applicable for any body in any liquid. For example, if you drop a piece of iron inside water, so it will also continuously, its velocity will not increase. After traveling certain distance, its velocity becomes constant. After that, its velocity does not rise. It will reach the bottom of the ocean with same speed. Clear, no, ma? That's it. Now let us see how we can derive the equations of this terminal velocity. Okay, ma? So at terminal velocity, what are the forces which are balanced? Weight of the body is balanced by force of buoyancy plus viscous force. Clear, no? These forces, they have become equal. Are you able to understand what is happening? Downward force is balanced by upward forces. Okay? So therefore, mass of the body, I can write a density into volume into G, no? Force of buoyancy, rho L VL G. And viscous force, 6 pi eta R into V. That's all, no? So therefore, rho means what here? Density of body. Okay, ma? Volume I can write to 4 by 3 pi r cube, nama, because this is a sphere I am taking. Volume of a sphere, 4 by 3 pi r cube. Multiplied by G is equals to, rho L means density of liquid, and VL means what? Volume of liquid displaced. Volume of liquid displaced is nothing but volume of body only, no? So this also I can write it is equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Clear nama? Multiplied by G plus 6 pi eta r into V. Okay. So from this we are supposed to calculate this velocity, which is called as terminal velocity. I have to derive equation of that one. Okay. So see if there is anything which can get cancelled, ma. 4 pi cannot get cancelled, ma, because here there is no 4 pi, no? Pi value, 1 pi get cancelled. Okay, ma? And r, here V is called radius, 1 r get cancelled. So therefore instead of r cube, I can write r square, no? R square I can write down. Okay, ma? So similarly I can cancel 2 2 0, 2 2 0, 2 3 0. Okay, and square and r get cancelled. Okay, so therefore rho into 2 by 3 r square into G is equals to rho L into 2 by 3 r square into G plus 3 eta Vt. This is what I can write. Clear now? Now let us take these terms on one side. So rho is not common. 2 by 3 r square G is common. 2 by 3 r square G, if I take common, then it is rho minus rho L. This is equals to 3 eta into Vt. Clear now? 3 cannot get cancelled because here 3 is present in numerator, no, here. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So therefore I can write Vt is equals to, if 3 comes to this side, it will become 2 by 9, no, 2 by 9 r square G into rho minus rho L divided by eta. So this is the equation to calculate terminal velocity attained by the body. Okay, ma? So after attaining this velocity, velocity further does not increase. Okay, ma? After reaching this velocity of the body, further will not increase. Same. So metal sphere of radius 1 into 10 power minus 3 meter and density 10 power 4 kg per meter cube enters a tank of water after a free fall through a height of h in gravitational force of earth. Clear, ma? See, ma, this is a tank of water. Okay, and from here a metallic sphere is falling down, ma. It means its initial velocity is 0 meter per second. Free fall he gave, no, it means initial velocity is 0 meter per second. Now it is falling from what height? It is falling from a height of h. Clear, no? So therefore by the time it is ready to enter water, it should have attained how much velocity? It should have attained a velocity of v square minus u square is equals to 2s. This relation I can use, no? So final velocity I don't know, initial velocity is 0, 2 into acceleration is 10, g value is h, or just you can write a g here. Okay, ma? So what is the final velocity attained by the body? Root 2g h. That's all, no? By the time it is ready to enter water, it should have attained this much of velocity. Okay. So then what he gave, if the velocity becomes unchanged after entering water, what is the meaning of this one? After entering water also, the velocity of this body is remaining same. It means, what is that? Ante yemani? It means that is terminal velocity. That is the meaning of this one, nama. This body after entering the water, its velocity is not changing. It means immediately when it entered water, body attained terminal velocity. That is the meaning of it. Nice, ammik bolde. Okay, ma? So therefore, what we say, immediately after entering water, immediately after entering water, body obtained terminal velocity. Okay, so therefore can I say V is equals to root 2gh is nothing but terminal velocity, no? So this is equals to 2 by 9 r square g into rho minus rho L divided by eta. What he is asking us to find out? H value only, no? So just calculate H value, that is my answer. All the values are already given, no? Okay, no? All the values are already given. Okay, G value is 10, radius is given, G we know, density of body we know, density of water is 1000, eta value is already given. Clear, no? Now these substitutions I hope you can do. Ma answer I am writing. Answer is you should get 20 meters. That is the answer which you should get. Okay? That's unnecessary. Okay, student. So, two identical drops of water are falling through air with a steady velocity of, so both of them they are falling with a velocity of 10 centimeter per second. Clear, no? So after traveling some distance, both of them they merged together and they have become a bigger drop. That is what he is saying, no? So even though the merged velocity never changes, no? Velocity remains to be 10 meters per second. Okay. So if the drops combine to form a single drop, what would be the terminal velocity of a single drop? Sima, if these drops when they are falling with a velocity of 10, what do you understand? 10 velocity to padutunnayi ante, it means this itself is terminal velocity, no? Clear, no? If water drops are falling with this velocity, it means velocity is not changing. Velocity is not changing means what is that velocity? Terminal velocity only. Clear? Now when they combine, then what is the terminal velocity that I want to calculate? Are you able to understand? Oh, I said that same velocity. No, it is not same velocity. When they combine together, then they start falling with another terminal velocity. What is that second terminal velocity I want to calculate? Can you say how can I calculate? Okay. What is the equation of terminal velocity, ma? Terminal velocity is equals to 2 by 9 r square g into rho minus rho L divided by eta. This is the equation. And here terminal velocity is depending on how many factors. It is depending on radius, g value, density of water. Water means raindrop, density of liquid means air, and it is dependent on eta. Eta means the coefficient of viscosity of air. Air is the fluid, no, in which water is falling. These raindrops are falling. Clear, no? So therefore, all of them they are constants. So it means I understand that terminal velocity is depending only on square of the radius. That's all. No? Because remaining all factors are constant for this case and this case. Here I have two cases, ma. First case is when drops when they are separately falling. Second case is when they have combined to form a bigger drop. Are you able to understand? So therefore terminal velocity depends on what? Depends only on square of the radius. That's all. No? Remaining all the factors they are constant. Only radius is changing, no, in between two cases. Here radius is smaller and here combined radius will become definitely bigger. So terminal velocity depends only on radius itself. So therefore I can write Vt2 divided by Vt1 is equals to R2 divided by R1 whole square. I can write, no? Now if I consider what is the radius, did he give anything about radius, ma? He did not give anything about radius. Let us consider radius of this one is small r and radius of the bigger drop is capital R. Now how can I find a relation between them? If I know relation between them, then I can substitute in the relation, I will get the answer. That's it. How can I find a relation between small r and capital R? How can you say? When drops combine together, you should never say that radius will become double. You cannot say. What is the method in which we have to solve? Huh? Volumes are same, no, ma? Okay. So volume of two raindrops is equals to volume of small r, no, small r cube. So this is equals to volume of bigger drop. Can I write like this? If two raindrops combine together and form a bigger drop, volumes are constant, no? Combined volume of smaller drops is equals to volume of bigger drop. So therefore 4 by 3 pi get cancelled and 2 1s are 2 2s are. Clear, no? So therefore 4 by 3. Oh, already I have cancelled, no? Yes. So this 2 remains here only. 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi already cancelled, no? So capital R cube is how much, ma? It is 2 R cube. That's all. So therefore, this is the relation between both of them. How can I write? So R is equals to cubed root of 2R cube. I can write like this, no? So I can write 2 power 1 by 3 multiplied by R. I can write like this. Clear, number? Now substitute in this equation. So Vt2 divided by Vt1 is equals to, R2 means radius of the bigger drop. What is the radius of the bigger drop? 2 power 1 by 3 multiplied by R divided by radius of smaller drop is nothing but R. So power of 2. So therefore R and R get cancelled. So therefore what I will get? Vt2 is equals to Vt1 multiplied by 2 power 2 by 3. That's all, no? So what is the terminal velocity of first drop, no? 10 centimeters per second, no? So therefore Vt2 value is how much? Vt2 is equals to 10 multiplied by 2 power 2 by 3 centimeters per second. That is my answer. Understood, no? That's all, very simple. So therefore the answer which you should get is 15.9 centimeter per second. 15.9 centimeter per second. That is my answer. Clear?